pledge allegiance? That's funny. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. We have roll call, please.
John DeBoyer.
Absent excused.
Maureen Bory.
Here.
Mark Bouchard.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Christy Hiltonen.
Here.
Chris O'Regan.
Absent excused.
Cindy Valentine here.
Okay, we're all 5 of us here. The others are deer hunting. Before we get going, I'd like to, Clay Township lost a member of our community Friday night. Joanne Shirkey passed away. She was peaceful, and she was an icon of our community and very special to us all. And I'd just like to have a moment of silence for her. Okay, thank you. She will be missed by several. Coach. Are we going to have amendment or amend the agenda?
Yep, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to add item 1B, Resolution 2023-33, which is a resolution to establish precinct boundary changes.
Support. Okay, I have motion support. All in favor of amending the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have bills payable.
Make a motion to approve the bills payable in the amount of $105,799.64.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yep.
Christy Hiltonen.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes.
Okay. There, we'll move right into the supervisor's report. Oh, it's a real long one. We scheduled the generator replacement with the police department and the office building. It's going to be installed November 29th and 30th. Well, that's going on. The DTE is cutting the power to us, and the way the wiring's all configured and everything, we can only have one generator, and the police are going to get the electricity. So the township won't have any power November 29th and 30th, so we're going to close the offices those 2 days. It's hard to be here without power. The project over on the island for the treatment plant is going good. Last week we received approval from Eagle for the algae wheel treatment process. In other words, now somebody could build an algae wheel plant in Michigan. So that went well, and actually we got that before I thought we would. Been doing a lot of work with the wetland mitigation, and we're actually looking at using a portion of Brown's Field and for that. And Eagle has given us a preliminary approval of that location. So what we got to do is do the plans and talk to the association. They were good with it. Hopefully we're going to make it a win-win situation for them. And hoping in 2-3 weeks have something drawing that I can give to them and Eagle to see if they both approve of that. On that same project, working on receiving the $2 million grant for the treatment plant. Been working with the state budget office, and they're going to send me a grant application form to sign, and once I get that and back to them, it'll be a matter of couple, 3 days before they'll be able to wire the money to us and we can receive it. I know there's a certain way that they have to wire it, and Christie made sure that gate was open, so to speak. Also, that pays for phase 1. For phase 2, I've been doing a lot of work and talking with EPA and the Department of Energy on funding phase 2, and they're very positive. We're doing the Department of Energy because this will be the first plant of this type using algae in the state of Michigan. But this plant will be the first plant, water treatment plant in the country that will capture carbon credits. And because of that, Department of Energy is very interested in it too. So here at Clay Township, we will be hosting a small business town hall meeting. It's going to be January 29th at 10 a.m. to about 1 o'clock. I know Kevin Hertels, our senator, is going to be here for it, and a few people at Anchor Bay Chamber of Commerce. We have a speaker from the Small Business Administration. We're going to have like 2 or 3 speakers lined up with a lot of information, new programs and things for small businesses. So you don't have to live in Clay Township or reside in Clay Township. Anybody can come to this. So we're getting a flyer made up pretty soon so we can start advertising. I want to pack the place for it. Been having many talks with our local DNR about the conditions of St. John's Marsh and the Phragmites. In fact, we crafted the resolution today. I'm going to be asking the board support for a resolution demanding the state to control Phragmites on the properties that they own. The local DNR are all for helping us out too. When it comes down to it, the state pays zero money for fire protection or police protection to us. They own over 50% of the property in the state of Clay Township, and they do nothing for fire or for Phragmite control. And we all drive by St. John's Marsh. It's loaded. So, going along in the same thing, because I've talked to the DNR, the local DNR. For some reason, they can't purchase or own a marsh master. So I'm going to be looking for grants to possibly buy a marsh master, and we could use it our own self, make fire breaks and stuff to help fight fires if they do catch on fire. And also the DNR would love to use it too, and they would actually rent it from us. They have another agreement someplace else in Michigan with the marsh master, and they actually pay every year a flat fee to help maintain it and to insure it too. So it's been done someplace else. So yeah, I've talked to that one. We've been, it's on our agenda, but we've been doing a lot of shopping for health care. I'll wait for that. Chief George, he's looking to get different mini pumper trucks to purchase. Possibly we might have a quote in a couple, 3 weeks maybe, right, George? Mm-hmm. So we'll be talking more about that. It was a while ago I wrote a grant application, a DNR trust fund grant that would purchase outdoor exercise equipment for our park next door along the walking path. And the amount of the grant is $215,000. I got back the scores, and they had some questions, and preliminary, we scored 190 out of 300, but after the questions, we're at 300 or 250. And I will find out in a week or so where we stand on that. I know last year they funded most of the applicants. There was about 30 of them. It depends on how much money they have and how many applicants they get. I'm saying it's about a 50-50 chance, but hopefully I will know here soon on that. I want to mention the Pearl Beach pier, the bathroom. DTE stuck our electrical pole right like next to the road in front of it. I hate the location. We don't like it. We're talking to them. I thought it was going to go in behind the building, but we're going to see if we can get that pole moved. Been doing a lot of blight and building issues. Actually talking to some investors who would like to build in Clay Township affordable senior living homes. So we are helping them out on that. Then over in the park too, our playground set, there was a middle piece of our main playscape. Broke a hole, had a hole in it. It was actually very dangerous. Someone could get hurt. So we closed that up, and we're getting costs to replace that piece. I know we'll be repurposing that in a year, but we got to replace that. It's dangerous if we don't. Let's see. The presidential primary is for sure going to be held February 27th. When the polls from 7 to 8 at night, 7 a.m. to 8 at night. Early voting starts about 9 days before. It's going to start February 17th to the 25th, and that will be done here. What's the time? Is it 8 to 4, Cindy?
Yes.
I thought 8 to 4 on that. Let's see. Oh, Goodfellows, time of the year. December 2nd is the paper sale. So when you see these guys out in the street, don't run them over, buy a paper. December 3rd, we're having a bowl-a-thon. It's a fundraiser at Colony Bowl. And December 20th, they're doing a huge food giveaway that will partake into the fire department, fire station in Elginak. December 9th is the Christmas in the Park, sponsored by Pearl Beach Lions Club, where they have sleigh rides with Santa and hot dogs and Christmas caroling, and they light the tree at dusk. So that's always a good event for the kids. And we're actually looking at a new event. It's called... I spent some time over in England and Scotland. They do this over there every January 1st. They have a tradition. It's called the Looney Dunk. And what it is, basically, January 1st, everyone dresses up and jumps in the ocean. And we thought about bringing that tradition over here. And it's basically like a polar plunge. And it's going to be we're going to do it at the Pearl Beach Pier. It's going to be a fundraiser for No Limits Fishing. It does free charters for handicapped people. It's a great thing. And so that will be January 1st at noon. And I am hereby challenging the mayor of Elginak, Rocky Gillis, to jump in the water with me that day. So he says he's going to.
Will you be holding hands when you do it?
We could be. So.
Did you skip the 911 thing?
Yeah, we did it last time.
I didn't know we talked about it.
I talked, this is what, 3 weeks ago, I talked to some citizens at how we, they wish we would opt out of the 911 protocol that was written by the Chiefs Association. We did not. I sent an email out with her information, and then what Ken Cummings wrote to our board. And if anyone decides to change their vote with the new information, I was willing to bring it back to question. But if nobody does, there's no reason to bring it back. And this is a yearly thing, so when it comes up again, we'll have to discuss it then anyhow.
Oh, we said we could amend it. I just wanted to ask because it was a split vote.
Right.
So couldn't we wait till there's all 7 board members? Somebody must have been absent that night.
Right, no,
And vote again?
no, it was a split vote, 4-3.
Oh, okay. So, right, I got you.
Okay.
I thought it was 3. I thought that meant 3.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Moving right along, 15 minutes in, that wasn't too bad. All right, public comments. Do we have any public comments? Go ahead, come on up and state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Degowski. I live, do you want my address? I don't live here in Clay.
No, that's all right.
8668 Ira Road in Fairhaven. I'm here in the spirit of Thanksgiving to give thanks. As I said, my name is Nikki Degowski. I'm a 5th grade teacher here at Algonquin Elementary School. I am also an Algonac graduate and a mother to a few muskrats myself. I'm here tonight to say thank you to Clay Township and its supervisor, Artie Bryson, for the support with our outdoor classroom and trail system. I'll start with a little bit of history of this outdoor classroom. When I was a student at junior high, it used to be a cross-country trail. It wasn't until 2007 that it was developed into an outdoor classroom and trail system under the direction of Dr. Dennis Geiser. The original project cost $40,000. $20,000 came from a group at that time known as Waterfall USA, $5,000 from St. Clair County Community Foundation, and the rest from the Algonac Rotary. It is an 880-foot trail. It has a 10 by 12-foot dock over a water retention pond and seating for up to 40 students, along with the teacher podium and benches along the trail. This outdoor classroom and trail renovation project started with my 5th grade students. In the fall last school year, we ventured out there to get creative with our writing, but were saddened that we could not sit down on the benches as there was too much overgrowth, and we couldn't walk the trails as many trees had fallen, blocking the paths. The kids said we should do something about this, so we headed back into our indoor classroom and we wrote our ideas down. I then reached out to Artie Bryson asking some questions and looking for some help. Artie came out and met with my students, walked the trail, and talked with them about their ideas. That's when things really got going. Artie put a post on social media, and the next thing you know, people and groups were reaching out to both Mr. Latos, our superintendent, and myself. I did some research on the original trail and those who funded the project. In conversations with a friend of mine, Jeff DeLang, he told me to reach out to St. Clair Flats waterfallers and gave me some contacts. I also met with school administration and members of the Algonac Lions Club and Algonac Rotary, some of the other founders of the trail. Together, we plotted our goals, funding, and ideas the kids had to make it better. I also had a great conversation with Bob Hubert regarding our efforts to include education on conservation, invasive species, and of course, waterfall. The Lions Club started helping by clearing the trail for me, which we can now utilize the whole trail. Artie then put me in contact with Caitlin Barnes, a biologist from the DNR. We began with educating our students on the native plants, animals, and invasive species that you spoke about earlier, a serious problem we have back there. Mr. Brian Ranger reached out to me to see if the Chick-fil-A leadership group at our local high school could be of any assistance. They were welcomed with open arms. Together, we met with Caitlin and ladies from the Friends of the St. Clair River, along with our local RISA, for educational component. We scheduled a BioBlitz. A BioBlitz is a hands-on exploration. Kids got dirty and saw firsthand the wonders of our area. They identified insects, birds, plants, amphibians, and mammals. The elementary students were partnered with older kids and used technology to participate in an even bigger BioBlitz that began on Earth Day and ran until the end of May for the whole Great Lakes watershed area. It was an amazing day of learning. This is a massive project for a 5th grade teacher, and I'm thankful for the support of my principal, Mrs. Lestage, Superintendent, Mr. Latos, for supporting my efforts. I'd like to thank the original founders of the trail of our outdoor classroom for reinvesting in this project. A huge thank you goes out to you as well. Without Clay Township and without Artie's support, we wouldn't have had things move as fastly as we did. You guys came out and sprayed the Phragmites for us, which is a huge problem, as you just spoke about. The sidewalk that runs along the outdoor classroom had some major repairs that needed. And in partnership with the Water Department and the Algonac Rotary, we were able to get that job done, thanks to Artie. There's more to come, and it is truly happening because we are all working together as school and community. Some progress that has been made. St. Clair waterfowlers have pledged $2,500 to restore the area as they were original founder of the trail system. The Rotary has pledged $5,000 of support. The Algonac Lions Club has helped tremendously with the removal of dangerous trees blocking the paths and have pledged to help with anything else that they can. Mr. Latos has assured me that he would work with me to get support and some funding that is needed to save money and protect our classroom, the outdoor classroom. I'm currently working with Clay Township Police to help control the motorized vehicle problem we are facing back there. Chief Coach has assured me his support. The school purchased signs for no motorized vehicles, and those will be posted soon. I'm hoping people stay out of there. Mr. Ranger's leadership group is hoping to get back over there soon and help do a cleanup. We have things like fencing, tractor tires, trash, concrete blocks that need to be removed from our area. Unfortunately, our school no longer owns a tractor or any heavy equipment. We just haven't been able to replace those things. So we're doing a lot of this with the support of community and getting our hands dirty. I'm currently working with the high school and IB students, working with Scoreboard and more on some educational signage with actual photos our students took on that day. The Phragmites have been sprayed and cut, as I spoke about. A new large trailhead sign is in the works, thanks to a donation that Artie negotiated with Lumberjack and the handiwork of Chris Meals. The sidewalk that was falling into the retention pond has been repaired. Yay, it looks so much better. We can walk on it safely. And I believe, we don't really know, going back in history, I can't figure out who owns that sidewalk, if the school originally built that, or if that's Clay Township. Do you know, Artie?
Yeah, I think it's the school.
Yeah. So, I mean, our funding is used right now in our classroom, so it's hard to take care of some of those things. So we appreciate all that support. One of my students' big dreams would be the purchase of waders. On the day of the Bio Blitz, the kids were able to put some waders on that the Ladies of the Lakes, Friends of St. Clair River, brought out, and not everybody got to put them on, and that was tragic. So they really want to get in the water and explore and see what's going on in there. Some other items needed would be gravel. There is a huge... like I said, it's 880 feet long, and there are just some areas from the wear and tear of those motorized vehicles that have been back there. Sometimes we have cross country. A lot of people in our community use it, and it's just uneven surface, and we need to level that out a little bit and make sure those low wet spots aren't that way anymore. Recently, my students and I were awarded the Green Guardian Award at the St. Clair County Earth Day Fair for our efforts and dedication to environmental leadership. But this is truly an award for all of us in our community. We wouldn't be here and doing those things if it wasn't for the support of true leaders in our community, from the school, from the township, from parents in their homes and raising children that raised their voice and advocated for that. So I thank parents, I thank the community of Clay Township, Algonac, Ira, for all their support. And if you get a chance, get out there and check it out. It's a work in progress. I worked on it Sunday, and we have a long way to go, but we're really proud of where we've taken it so far, and hope that more people in the community can enjoy it and use it. So,
Hey, Nikki, did the podium get fixed yet?
my husband's working on that.
Okay, 'cause I got a guy that was going to do that too.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. I
Yeah.
told him he had to do it.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
After the holidays, why don't you stop by the Lions Club and ask for me?
I will.
Yeah, we have some plans for that area as well.
Yep.
So Artie's did a great job in keeping that up, so
Yeah.
kudos to Artie.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was all the kids' ideas.
Yep.
I mean, I walked through and they told me what needed to be done. They were spot on.
So standard in 5th grade on social studies is public discourse. And I really believe that my students did a fabulous job
Yep.
of using their voice and learning that community can come together and make things happen. And it's a true example of that. So I thank you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Good.
Thank
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Any other public comments?
Carol Sampson, 6039 Point Trumbull Road. I want to talk about the health insurance. When you talk about it at the end, if you can explain, if you had estimates from other health insurance companies or just Blue Cross, and the bottom, if you can explain the 25% of the HRA funding. The HRA funding is an employer-funded group that gives employees a tax-free, reimbursed tax-free for qualified medical expenses up to a fixed amount. I want to know why you have that on the insurance, that we reimbursed employees for the HRA. And I'm confused on who the employer is. It's either the Clay Township taxpayers or you. I don't know, because it's an employer-funded health group plan. So I'm wondering at the end of the meeting if you can explain all that. And then I'm requesting if we could have the meetings go back to 7 o'clock, only because there's people that work till 6:30, and they can't make the meetings. And I'm also requesting if the public comments can go back to the end of the meeting, where all the other meetings have public comments at the end. So whenever anything is discussed, I know everything is already voted on, but people have a chance to come up and talk about it. So that's and then maybe next meeting you can explain the EFT payments to the WEX Bank. Every month we have electronic fund transfer that's never on the decisions of and what that's a transfer for. It's like $4,569.75, and it's almost on there every month. Now the grant for the San Souci treatment plant, do we have to meet this grant when we get it?
No.
No? Okay. And your town hall meeting, I don't know why you would want it at a restaurant, because who's paying for the restaurant?
It's going to be here at the hall.
It's going to be here at the hall, okay.
Point of order.
And now, do we have to meet the grant for the park equipment, $215K?
No.
No meeting? Okay.
Supervisor, this is public comments.
Yep.
Is that it? Okay. Thank you.
Yep,
Have
thank
a
you.
happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right, any more public comments? Seeing none, we'll move right along to the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the reports, EFT transfers, board approved on 11/6, checks cut in between meetings, and the minutes of November 6th, 2023.
Support.
A motion and support. Any discussion?
I have a couple questions on the in-between meetings. It says general, but this isn't all coming out of the general fund, is it? You just have that because,
It's the general bank. So there are pooled funds for general, and those are all of the pooled general funds.
well, I guess that I'm confused, like the wastewater treatment plant contract, that more attorney fees for that should be in the water, come out of the water budget. It does, but it just,
It's coming out of the water budget, but that's the general bank. So we only have checks for one bank, they're pooled.
Okay.
And that's the general account.
so that's what, can you indicate next to these which fund it's coming out of, so we know when you do it? Like the Blue Cross Blue Shield, we got almost 70 grand there. I'm sure some of it's coming out of the police budget, right?
Yes.
So I guess that makes it real tough for you to do that, though. Okay, just double checking. Because I don't want, that to come out of our general fund okay, great.
Any other discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have the police chief report from George.
Good evening. Chief's report for October. I attended 2 meetings in the month of October. One was the St. Clair Flats Association. General business was discussed there, and I also attended the St. Clair County Chiefs Communication Committee. I'm on that committee for the county fire chiefs, and we discussed the 800 megahertz radios and tower infrastructure throughout our county. October was Fire Prevention Month. The fire department conducted classes for the Algonac Child Care, Millside Elementary, and Algonquin Elementary. Over 400 kids participated in the class. I would like to thank Lieutenant Carr and Daniel for giving the classes. The fire department also participated in the first annual San Souci Downtown Chili Cook-Off. We didn't do too good. Chili was a little hot, but we are going to go back next year with a few more entries. So we're not giving up. The fire department did a static display at Stewart Farms for their Halloween outing. We passed out hats and fire department coloring books and also candy. We also participated at the Algonac Lions Club Trunk or Treat. And I would like to thank Sergeant Devray, Sergeant Matthews, and Dave Welsh, and Daniel. He's got a long name.
He's got a really long name.
Very long name. The fire department also did our annual standby for the Pearl Beach Lions Club at their bonfire for their Halloween night. So, and we assisted them. And also Fireboat 2 was pulled out for the year. It'll be stored at Station 1 for the winter.
Okay, great. Does anybody have any questions for Chief?
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thanks a lot.
I did go to Grand Rapids to
Yes.
look at a mini pumper, and next month I'll give you a report on that.
Is that new?
Yes.
Brand new.
Great.
Who's making that up there, Grand Rapids?
Hmm?
Who's the manufacturer in Grand Rapids?
It's the Frausch brothers.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot, George.
Thank you.
Okay, next under new business, item 1, we've got the Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal. And yes, we did get several quotes. We don't put them all in here, but, we actually was going to go with a different company that would have saved us some money. And we did a lot of work to make that happen and talk to the unions about it, everybody. Because, this affects, we have, 5 collective bargaining agreements that this affects and everything else. And then, was it Thursday? They pulled the quote after a artificial intelligence scan.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday, was it Wednesday?
Afternoon. Mhm.
No, I've talked with them on Thursday morning. It was still on, so it had been Thursday night.
Well, regardless, it was for artificial intelligence scan, and it's kind of scary.
That was Wednesday.
I asked them about it, and first our representative was very upset with the company that they didn't do the scan before they give us a quote. But he said these AI scans, like he did one on himself, where he'll fill out some boxes and he'll say, "Do you smoke or no, or don't smoke?" He puts no, he doesn't smoke, and he happens to smoke a cigar once every 2 weeks. And he goes in about 3 or 4 times a year to buy cigars at a store. Well, the AI scan saw that and flags him and says, "No, you're a smoker."
Oh.
That's kind of scary when you think about it. He goes, "I smoke 1 cigar every 2 weeks, every other Sunday." And, so he buys cigars. He doesn't, the AI scan doesn't know if it's for him or he's giving away, or who knows, But this is the world we're living in. So that's what happened to that. We were actually going to try to get a reduction which this time, it was going to be about a 5% reduction. But like I say, I think it was Thursday, they pulled the quote, and so we didn't have that option. We are going with HRA $4,000 deductible. That's what I'm recommending, and that's what he recommended to us. With that option, it represents a 2.6% increase. I did have in the budget a 6.5% increase. If we went with the 2,500 deductible, we'd have a 5.8% increase. And if we did not have the HRA, and this is what happens, we get a better rate for a higher deductible plan, and then any deductibles that the township would be responsible for under the collective bargaining agreements, we fund that ourselves for our HRA, from a HRA. That HRA, basically figure out, it saves us between $120,000, $130,000. This past year, it saved us $130,000 a year. So if we went with the conventional plan, which we could, we would show a 17% increase, basically a $153,000 increase. So in other words, if we didn't have the HRA and that process, they would cost the township and all the departments township-wide across the board $153,000, which we used to do. It's about 7 years ago we changed it, and it's been working out great. So in a nutshell, that's why we do the HRA. And yes, it's a township for township employees and for employees of the township. So, any questions or anything?
Well, you should have a motion first, so I'll make a motion to approve the Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal, Simply Blue PPO HRA 4,000.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support.
Is there an increase to the employees?
No, that's still the same.
As far as the deductibles are concerned?
Everything's basically staying the same. For the cost with employees. I mean, these are all bargained on, with our bargaining agreement. So we got to provide, same as or better than. And, basically this is the same as.
And theoretically, this side-by-side shows a worst-case scenario of a 25% medical use per month, and that's not the case. We're running at about, 17, 18%?
Or even less than that.
Yeah, or less than that.
So,
So these
Yeah.
are conservative numbers. of
very
what we're-
conservative numbers.
What we're saving.
So we'll be saving more than what's presented here.
I mean, hopefully, nobody gets sick, but, I mean, I don't know if you looked at the side-by-side, but, I mean, the one that costs more, the deductibles goes down from 4,000 to 250, and you're saying 4,000, but it's 8,000 for a family,
Yep.
And
That's
that
just
would
the
go-
name of the plan.
and that would go down to 500, so, and then we wouldn't reimburse, so it's just an incredible, most people don't get this.
Most
Anywhere.
municipalities do. I think I was on the phone with Jack. He probably writes 40, 50 townships, maybe more.
Yeah. Well, the federal doesn't get it, the state doesn't get it, but
Right.
I guess the townships are getting it because the state employees and the federal employees don't get this kind of thing.
What happened with the road commission, because the road commission has to pay 20%. And when that went in effect, I'm talking St. Clair County Road Commission, basically, they had to pay 20% of their health care. The union, they demanded, and what happened, they actually have to reimburse the employees 30% that cost through payroll because, you know, there's payroll taxes involved too. So it costs the county road commission, you know, the 20% plus an additional 10% of the cost to make up for what the employees had to give up. So it was a losing situation for the county road commissions.
I'd have to review all that. That sounds very strange that
Well,
the employees had to pay 20% and then
Well,
they had to give them 30% back. I don't get that. but-
Well, I'll tell you, I'll
Okay.
explain it to you. We're under collective bargaining agreements. So if we say in the middle of a collective bargaining agreement, and one steward for patrols back there, if we said, hey, we're going to make you pay 20%, they would file a grievance, and because we're breaking agreement that we negotiated on and improved, and they would say, or to settle it, we would have to pay them that expense through payroll to make up for it. Now, with payroll, there's a payroll tax, right? You pay taxes, we all pay taxes. So to make them whole, we'd have to pay them the 20% plus what they would have to pay in more payroll taxes. So it costs the road commission more money, it would cost us more money to do that.
Well, I mean, the contract should be negotiated. That's one of your additional duties that, you know, you get paid for. And, I mean, we have to start to negotiate some of these costs to the employee because it's $1 million. You know?
It's expensive.
And I mean, the three of you get to vote on this tonight. You don't have a union bargaining contract, and it's kind of a conflict of interest, in my opinion. You know, like Mark and I should vote just for you guys. You could vote for everybody else, but I don't understand how, you know,
Well,
how that works.
They will tell you, and you'd have to go back in history. They gave up a lot back in 10, 15, 20 years ago, 15 years ago in pay, and in lieu of getting raises, they got better health insurance. And that was a common practice for most police departments and municipalities. And they took cuts in other places to get better benefits. So I'm just trying to explain it to you. Like I say, we would have 5 grievances filed against the township. I'm doing what I think was best for the township. And we would, in my estimate, we would lose those grievances because we're reneging on the contracts that we negotiated.
well, like I'm saying, I'd like to see the contracts negotiated differently, but
Well,
that's
you
over
voted
now.
on them, right?
It's over now.
You voted on them, right?
I guess so.
You did.
I didn't know all this was in there, but can you explain, I mean, I see the savings at the bottom on the 2 plans, the 4,000 and the renewal, 4,000, 8,000, and the 2,500, 5,000. I mean, it just seems like maybe we're at risk because a family can go up to 8,000, and that's pretty big. We got quite a few families in here. There's not a big difference between the two, but in the HRA, but I don't know. The renewal is quite a bit different at 682 to 637.
Well, all I can do is go back hindsight. We would have saved more money the past 7 years going with a $4,000 deductible as opposed to the $2,500
Every year, so
Every year.
we're banking on that.
every year. Now, could something change this year? Yes, but hindsight going back 7 years, and I don't know of anything why it should be different going forward. We would have saved more money. Like I said, we saved $130,000 by using this HRA. You know, that number would probably be $150,000, $160,000 or more. I'm not sure what it is. So we'd be saving more money. And, you know, it is expensive, and, you know, I'm trying to keep the cost down as much as we can. So instead of 5.8 increase, we got a 2.6 increase.
And then I'm looking at, I mean, you said we only spent 17%, not 25%. So that's not really what our current is, right? Our current was less.
Yeah, this is just an actual, or a estimate.
So our current is 8% of that 25% less. It was quite a bit less this year. It's probably closer to 800,000, right?
Could be, yeah.
Because we only spent 17, not 25 on the HRA. So it could be a pretty big jump. Now, where does that money go? Do we put the HRA money in the bank, or we just do it take it out as we need it?
We put money into the bank account, and then as they administer the funds, I reconcile what's been taken out, and those are the figures that you received when you requested those.
So
The
we put
actual figures.
25% in each month, and then at the end of year?
No, I
Oh,
just try to keep between $16,000 and $19,000 in there, depending on what claims are coming through.
Okay. So you don't actually deposit that money in there every month, you just see what you need?
Nope, I just watch it weekly to see where the cash level is at.
Okay. I don't know where that usually comes in on here, because this is just, there's so many numbers everywhere. It's all coming into my radar. Okay, it's good to know how that works. Just mind-blowing. Okay. That's all my questions.
Any other questions?
The AI investigation.
Yeah.
So, did they offer you any suggestions as far as remediating that AI investigation? Like a
Yeah, no, they
wellness program or
didn't.
something?
No, they didn't. I asked them if they were going to give a revised quote, and they said, no, they're not going to quote us.
Okay, so, at all, and it was
Right.
no negotiation,
Yep,
no wellness
nothing.
or anything? Do we have a wellness program in these other programs, insurance things?
Do we have a
A
what?
wellness program.
Oh, yeah, it's all in
Wellness.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's in there.
Remember that? And,
Yep.
Because apparently, we have a lot of smokers.
I don't know. No. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's in
It's
there.
just, you know,
Yep.
I find it really strange that they just back completely.
Yeah, Jack, Jack,
Yeah.
he was unbelievably upset and never seen it before. He was going to try to do some more investigation on that. I didn't talk to him today, though. So,
Didn't look too good
Okay.
for us there.
Very strange, okay.
all right, any other questions? Hearing none, I'll make a roll call.
Mark Bouchard,
Yes,
Artie Bryson,
Yes.
Christy Hilton,
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Maureen Bory.
No.
Okay, motion passes. All right, next we have our resolution 2023-33 to establish precinct boundary changes. You want to take it away, Cindy?
Make a motion to approve the resolution 2333 for establishing precinct boundary changes.
We got a second?
I'll support it.
Okay, we have motion and second.
So the resolution is basically what it's going to do is eliminate Precinct 3. This will have an impact only on the mainland. Precinct 3 will be split pretty much at St. John's Marsh. St. John's Marsh, that would be west, I guess, heading towards Anchor Bay Drive. All of that part of Precinct 3 will become Precinct 5, and everything St. John's Marsh east will to Colony Tower that was previously Precinct 3 will become part of Precinct 1. That is due to the 9 days of early voting. The increase in absentee voting will allow us to consolidate and just have 2 precincts.
So it's going to save us some money at election time.
It's going to save us some money, and it's going to free up some equipment that we're going to need for the early voting, so it's coming at a great time.
Any more discussion?
So does this line kind of continue and Anchor Bay stays up in 5 and the Bird Isle stay in 1? Is that how it works? Like goes all the way over here?
Yes, so all the
Okay.
bird lanes will be in Precinct 1.
Okay, and then Anchor Bay Drive will be in 5.
Correct.
Got it. Well,
Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hiltonen.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Maureen Bory.
yes.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
A motion passes. All right, next we have board member comments. Mark?
Planning Commission has been canceled for this month as well as December. Nothing new there. And as you mentioned earlier, the bowl-a-thon is going on December 3rd at the bowling alley for the Goodfellows. And that's a big fundraiser for them, big night. We also had one over for free here the other night. Be looking forward to meeting, who was that, Vicky that came in here?
Who?
Vicky for the.
Nikki.
Nikki, yeah. So, I hope she'll get in contact with you sometime after the first year. But we have some plans going on with that as well with the Waterfall Association. So-
Yes.
So between all of us, we should be able to.
No, that's a good program.
Yeah.
I know they're putting on individual signage for the individual trails. And one thing we did too is,
Hey, is this your public comment?
well,
These are Mark's public comment.
you're in a hurry, I know.
I guess I delegated it already, but, I think we're getting park benches too, so
Yep.
we'll talk about that. Okay, I'm done, Artie.
Okay, Maureen?
Yeah, I just want to say that sounds like she's doing a great job. That teacher's great to see in our neighborhood. Thanks to Judy Campbell for writing the letter on our 911. And hopefully something will happen from it. And Thanksgiving's coming, so happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you. Cindy?
Yep, the election's February 27th, as you said earlier. Early voting will be the 17th to the 25th. My prayers and condolences go out to Joanne Shirkey's family. It was very hard to hear that she had passed. And aside from that, I wish everyone to try and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Our tax bills are mailing the 30th next week. And winter taxes, you can start paying winter taxes on December 1st. Don't forget about all of our collection efforts for the Goodfellows. Joanne will be missed, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted, Joanne was a very good friend of mine for a long, long time, and she will be missed. She was, they broke the mold when they made her, so wanted I'm really glad we could give her all the recognitions that, for her service to our community over the years. That was nice. We were able to do that before she passed. So, I did want to say one thing to Maureen. I mean, I don't want to call you out, but it seems like every meeting you say something about how I'm not doing my non-statutory duties the way you see fit. And if that's the case, you have the power to make a motion to lower my wages. So instead of just complaining about this or that, and you don't understand why they're separated, that's exactly why they're separating. So if you don't think I'm doing the job that I should be doing, make a motion to lower my wages. Okay?
Thank you.
I don't think we need to talk about it every meeting. Lots of cool things going on in the community. The trail is really a good project. I know we're looking at getting signage for the individual trails, their Indian names. And we want to turn it into a storybook trail too. And we got quotes where we put these display cases for book pages out of a book throughout the trail. And the fifth graders would pick a book every so often, And you could actually read the book as you walk through the trail. It's a storybook trail. And I wanted to mention that, we're working on that. A lot of there's so much goodwill that goes on in this community. People don't see it. Man, there's a lot of generous hearts, and I see a lot of it. We just have a lot of positive things going on, a lot that I can't really talk about, or people don't want to be recognized. But we have people giving money to to provide like the shop with the cops, so we can take kids shopping for Christmas presents and just everything. It's overwhelming. That's what really makes this community very special. And I hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in December.
Okay, I got one more thing. Can I get my time back? Obviously, Chris O'Regan isn't here, but he's down in Kentucky. He did harvest, I think it was a 12-point buck.
Did he really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he sent me a picture.
Good
Nice.
for him.
Wow.
Okay, so he should bring his venison when he comes back, right?
Hopefully he has it fixed.
Okay, I'll entertain one more motion.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.